So welcome to the Patreon edition of the Will I Vike podcast. I'm back on episode, I shouldn't have said that because I've forgotten what episode we're on. I think it's number 29. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're episode 29. I'm back with Ben. I'm not going to try to pronounce your Instagram name.
Hayal Bayert.
Hayal Bayert, there you go.
Yep.
And we're just going to do 3 bonus questions.
Okay, yep.
So the first question is, what's the worst thing you've ever eaten?
Oh. Again, I don't have to think too hard about this. I've always been quite a fussy eater, I think. I might have said earlier. I'm fine with most things, but when I was a child, my mum used to make this sausage and tomato pie. And it's the stuff of nightmares. Really.
It's an interesting combination. I don't think I've come across that one before.
It's essentially like mashed potato.
Okay. I'm down so far.
Yeah, so you'd mash up the potato and then throw in some sausages, uncooked, and then some, drain off some tomatoes, tinned tomatoes, chuck those in, cook it for a bit longer, and that's it. And the smell of it, it makes me want to retch. I was traumatised by it. I think it was quite an easy thing to make.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my mum won't be watching this, so if you are, Mum, I'm really, really sorry.
I'll send her the link afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, as when I say the worst thing, it is maybe one of the things that's sort of an easy trauma to go back to. You see what I mean? Otherwise, I'm a little bit fussy about stuff that I won't put in my mouth. So, my brother used to live in Lyon for years. I used to go and see him, and the Lyonnese food is famous through France. It's a delicacy and stuff, but it's all the bits you don't want to eat. It's all the offal, and it's tripe and chewy bits and pieces, and it's like no, I can't be facing that. That's yeah.
All right. So next question is, what's the most memorable meal you've ever had?
That's interesting. In a good way.
It can go either way. That's your interpretation.
It
can be memorable for either reason.
Yeah. I mean, what's springing to mind? Probably a few things, but and again, I really don't want to diss my mum too much. But when I met my wife, I was quite young. I think I was only like 19 when we started going out. And it just sort of opened my eyes to a world of flavour that I hadn't experienced before. Like, I think, the first time I went for a curry, I was like sort of maybe 19, 20. And it was like, I think my mum would always assumed I wouldn't like curry because it's, it's spicy and things. But I just, I love the flavours. And I remember going round to have dinner with my girlfriend and her mum. I think we'd only just started going out, and I think it was something really simple like salmon. But my mum still sort of says, "Oh, I remember that. I came home and I was raving about how what a nice meal I'd had." And it's like, and I look back at it. I think it was like probably like a really simple salmon with like a honey and mustard dressing on or something. But
yeah, my
mum was kind of, she came up in the 70s. She learned to cook in that sort of meat and 2 veg sort of style. So yeah, my wife will like that because meals that I've had with her. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the very last question.
Okay. Yep.
Hopefully not too much of a shock for you, but you've died.
Okay. That's
your
a shame.
family and friends are preparing your grave goods.
Yes.
What food and drink do you get to take to the feast in Valhalla?
Oh, crikey. Yeah, that's a tricky one. The feast in Valhalla is a different thing. I mean, if I've gone to heaven, which is a different place entirely, but one of my favourite places in the world ever is in the bath. I mean, if my brother will tell you that every time he rings up, I'm in the bath. And when I'm in the bath, I like to read. I'm not in there to wash. Washing is like I'll get that done at the end, but I'll sit there and I'll read a book.
Yeah.
And
You might want to pause for a second and let's just wait for that to... It doesn't help with letting it die down now because we're going to be leaving it.
Yes.
But it's making it get smoky. Yeah. So, we're back in the bath.
Yeah, so I'm back in the bath.
Slightly paused because we were being smoked out.
Yeah. But yeah, so in the bath with a bar of chocolate. Something, dark chocolate, sort of 70% cocoa, something like that, and a good book. And yeah, that's where I'm really happy. That wouldn't go down too well in the old halls of Valhalla, I think.
You're just sat there in your bath.
Yeah. But I do love like a really good, nicely cooked steak. That sort of where you get that sort of like that smoky, flame grilled sort of ness on the outside, and inside is sort of lovely and tender. Something you don't have to chew on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would fit the bill at Valhalla, and yeah, it's hard to beat something like where you get that lovely the fat's gone all caramelized sort of on the outside, and yeah, good sort of somewhere between rare and medium rare. So it's just it's nice and red inside still, but yeah.
What would you wash it down with?
Beer.
Beer. Anything in particular?
If I had to choose one,
don't have to name names, but style.
I think, a Ringwood. I think it's like the 49er. What's it called? Ringwood Brewery. And we're only down the road from Ringwood Brewery here, aren't we? So it's I did they do a tour, so you can go around and see the brewery and try their beers. And yeah, my favourite one by far was the 49er, which is a kind of, it has like golden malt, so it's not too hoppy. It's not, it hasn't got like any sort of stoutiness. It's that nice sort of, it's a dark golden. Yeah. That and a steak, that'd be lovely. Perfect together.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, and thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.